What happens when we die? Is there an afterlife? Do we go to heaven? Or even worse, hell? Can we communicate with the dead? And if we can, should we? Let's find out.
What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 33 of San Pedro Paranormal. I'm back as always with my co-host and longtime friend Carlos, and I am your host Tony. And today's episode we are going to be discussing Poltergeist. Not only the film or films, Carlos, because you only watch one, but not only the film, but also cases that are related to Poltergeist. So, yeah. But you know what? Before we start, Carlos, how's your week been? Are you back to work or not?
Okay. No, I'll probably won't be back until next month, supposedly, but we'll see what's going on there. But good though, very good. I've been keeping busy again. I've been working on, of course, the notes that I take for the show. I like to get those out of the way real quick. And I've been working on a few things. A teleprompter, low budget teleprompter that I made with an old picture frame made of glass. So I'm using that a little bit now. So hopefully that'll help.
Nice.
Some of the notes that I've. So I'm gonna try it today. See what happens.
Nice. That's cool.
So,
you know.
And everything's fine.
Yeah. You know what? I'm actually kind of happy that the weather's, it's been getting a little bit cooler, because it was hot there for a while, and then we had that earthquake yesterday.
Yeah.
So,
the last night we had an earthquake that a lot of people felt the jolts. I think it was the epicenter was East LA, around that area. But I was in the living room with my brother, and he said he felt the earthquake and feel it, and someone else was rattled too. And right now I didn't feel anything during the earthquake.
You didn't feel anything?
I didn't feel anything. No.
I felt
was like
it.
One of the green ones.
Yeah.
I slept to the last one.
Yeah, so I'm kind of happy that the weather's, cooling down. It was way too hot. And then, we were supposed to film yesterday, but right here the studio was like an oven, so I was like, you know what, I couldn't do it. But yeah, you know what? Before we start this episode, I do want to give a quick shout out to one of our subscribers. And she's actually also, we follow her. She follows us on Instagram and the Facebook page, and also we follow her back. But she actually came and picked up her copy that she won of the Haunted San Pedro, the Brian Clune book.
Yes.
Yeah, so she actually won a copy, from the last episode we did. But yeah, you know what? If you guys haven't watched episode 32. The Haunted San Pedro, go watch it, because there's still some books left, and you can still win a copy, a signed copy of Haunted San Pedro by author Brian Clune. But yeah, you know what? She actually came, and I'll put a picture of her right here. She let me take a picture of her with the book. But
that's great.
Yeah,
it's a really good book.
She, you know what? She's her nickname on YouTube and on Instagram is Doña Junta. You know who that is, right? You've read her comments.
Yes.
Yeah, and she's actually a friend of Wayne Poe, another person that we actually had on a previous episode too.
Oh,
so,
that's awesome.
And you know what? She was telling me that she's like a photographer. She takes pictures of historical buildings, and she goes to different. She's almost like a walking history book. Kind of thing.
That's awesome.
So I think, hey Carlos, I think you would like totally just like click with this girl, because I mean she's really smart, and I'm more of like the, I'm not the brains of the of the
You're the communicator, man. Come on, you're the face of the show.
But she's really smart. She takes these really cool pictures. Follow her on Instagram at Doña Junta. And she takes these really cool pictures of like old buildings and from East LA to things here, I think in San Pedro. So, and you know what? She used to be a what do you call it? What do you call those people that like a graffiti artist? So
neat.
yeah. So it's pretty cool. Anyway,
Very good. So
shout out to Doña Junta. Thanks for
very creative. Very
Thanks for subscribing to our show and commenting. She's always commenting on our videos and stuff. So yeah. So Carlos, you know what? I was gonna tell you this. I didn't watch I didn't watch the movie Poltergeist. I have watched it before, of course, you know, but I think the last time I watched it was last year during during Halloween and stuff. But I did start like looking at some of the Poltergeist cases that are either on YouTube or online, and I did find one case that that it was that seemed very and I know I hate saying we've talked about this before, but it's a case of this young adult, teenager, right? This teenage boy that started having all these paranormal things happen to him, and they actually documented stuff like what do you call it when like they call the police and they come and they do a report, right? So there's actual police reports of the poltergeist activity, and they even put poltergeist on the reports, which was pretty crazy. But yeah, like in all these most of these cases that I did read about, it always involves either a young adult or a teenager. So like we said in the last episode, it seems like these spirits are attracted to young people. And I mean, it's understandable, right? Because when you're young, you have all this energy and all these you're very very active and stuff. So maybe that's what it is.
So I guess a lot of people have to understand what is a poltergeist as opposed to regular haunting. What's the difference between the two?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess what we can do here is we can say, okay, what is a poltergeist? And here we go. Something's wrong with this thing. Tony, hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, sorry. Okay.
Technical difficulties.
I'm having issues with this teleprompter. I'll just read from the side over here. Day number 1, it doesn't work out. Okay, according to Wikipedia and ghost lore, a poltergeist is a type of ghost or spirit that is responsible for physical disturbances, such as loud noises and objects being moved or destroyed. They are purportedly capable of pinching, biting, hitting, and tripping people. Most accounts of poltergeists describe the movement of levitation of objects, such as furniture and cutlery, or noises such as knocking on doors. They have traditionally been described as troublesome spirits who haunt a particular person instead of a specific location. So that's a poltergeist.
Well, the word poltergeist comes from the German word, right? No, it means noisy ghost, right? I think that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
it's a German. Yes.
Yeah, you know what? In that case I was talking about, there's a person that made a YouTube video about that case, and if I remember, I'll put a link at the bottom. But he was talking about how like Carlos mentioned that a lot of people believe that poltergeists are the noisy spirits. They're they're like troublemakers, but they don't hurt you. But there has been cases where people have been hurt by the poltergeist, especially because they throw things around. They tend to throw things, and also not only that, sometimes people get pushed. I remember there was one of the cases that I read online about was this poltergeist in this really old house where people, when they would come down the stairs, they would feel somebody push them. I mean, nobody ever really got really seriously hurt, but so it is. I think it is wrong to think that a poltergeist wouldn't be able to harm you, but. And you know what? That's one thing I always thought was that ghosts can't really do anything to you. But I guess I was wrong.
Just gotta watch out for the things flying around, the cutlery and so forth.
Yeah. But I mean, poltergeist, Carlos, would poltergeist be considered? Could a demon be a poltergeist, or does it have to be like the spirit of someone that passed away? Do you know?
That's a great question. I wouldn't be the one to answer that, but when you look at when you look at the stories and the movie, it seems in a way that it was kind of like a demon, something that's able to like travel through dimensions.
Yeah, in the film. Yeah.
And do some physical harm in the film, but I don't know about
Yeah.
real life. Since I haven't really read any books.
Well, the film.
Sorry.
The film was. I mean, if I remember correctly, because I watch so many movies that it sometimes like they all get like combined in my head and I don't remember the right way. But in the film, I remember that what happened was that they had built properties on top of a cemetery. Was that right?
That's correct. The dad finds out because the dad and his family are having these issues, and he meets up with his friend, I guess his coworker, whoever it is that's responsible for the real estate, and he, as they're looking at another piece of real estate, and he's telling him this could be all yours, all this land. As he's telling him this, he's also telling him and saying, hey, this graveyard has to be moved in order to accommodate this new land that's going to be developed. What do you mean? You're going to move this cemetery? So the dad says. And and the dad says, well, that's sacrilege. You can't do that. Well, we've done it before, and then he mentions that he did it at your house. And that's where he gets all upset. And that's why all these problems are happening at that man's house.
Yeah. And you know what, talking about the movie Poltergeist, although I didn't, watch the movie this time for this episode, I did read about the supposedly curse of the film. Of the actors, the things that some of the actors went through, having some paranormal activity, and also not only that, but two of the actors of the first, well, actually the trilogy, two of them died, like very like I want to say like tragic. Did you know about the deaths, Carlos, or no?
Yeah. Yes. First, let's start with the background of Poltergeist movie, then we can talk a little bit about the curse, the Poltergeist curse.
Yeah. Oh, Carlos.
And so
you know what?
You have let's see. Here we go. Yeah.
There's a little bit of delay on the thing, but I was watching a video of the director of the film Poltergeist, and he actually after he filmed the movie was having poltergeist activity at his house. And he said that he wasn't scared because the thing is his father had passed away like a year before, so he believed it was the spirit of his father. So he had things where like a chair was moving around, the springs in the mattress or something would it would seem like someone would sit in it and stand up. I'm not exactly sure what he saw, but he kind of explained it a little bit. But he said that he wasn't, he wasn't really afraid because he thought it was his dad, like pranking him.
From the grave, huh?
From the grave.
Yeah. This is the director you're talking about, right?
Yeah, the director.
So the director's name is I think Tobe, Tobe, Tobe Hooper.
Yes.
No, Tobe Hooper.
Yeah, Hooper.
And he wasn't originally supposed to direct this movie. This movie was originally supposed to be directed by Steven Spielberg. That's why when you watch the movie, it has that Steven Spielberg-esque kind of look. The family, the way it's portrayed, the lighting, the orbs and the monsters. It's all done through Steven Spielberg. I think it's done through Lucas, whatever it is. But anyways, it has this real feel. And well, Spielberg was supposed to direct this movie, but he couldn't because he had a contract with Universal saying you can't do two movies at one time. And at this time, he was doing E.T. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah. So, but why does Spielberg's name come out in the film then? Was he like a producer or something?
Yes, he was a producer.
Oh, okay.
Yes, he was heavily involved in this, but again, he couldn't direct it because of the contract.
And you know what? I heard something about this. I know it's just theory, but there was some kind of like as Latinas would say, some kind of cheese man. that supposedly Spielberg did direct the film, but he put the other guy's name on it so he wouldn't get in trouble. I don't know if that's true.
Really?
But,
I don't know. That's interesting.
Yeah, because it does seem like a Spielberg film.
It does.
Yeah.
Tobe Hooper is also the director I believe, of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the one from the 70s.
That's right.
So that's where he comes from.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, and when this movie came out, also it has a PG rating because PG-13 wasn't around back then. So this movie scared a lot of kids.
That makes sense because, you know what? Yesterday I was actually gonna watch the film, and the reason I didn't watch it was because my kids were hanging out with me all day, and I thought about watching it with them, but then I remember some of the scenes, like where that guy's ripping his face and stuff, and I was like, I don't know if my 9-year-old could handle watching this. But yeah. I mean, it was now. I didn't know that there was no PG-13 during that time. That's crazy.
Yeah, this is 82. 1982. So the little background about the movie. Here we go. Let's see. Poltergeist story revolves around. Let me switch this here. Poltergeist story revolves around. Again, we're having issues. Okay. All right. It revolves around the Freeling family, consisting of Stephen, which is Craig T. Nelson. He came out in that Coach show, I believe, on Channel 7 years ago.
That's right.
Let's see. So yeah, Stephen, Craig T. Nelson, Diane, who's Jo Beth Williams. And let's see, Jo Beth Williams. We also have Dana, Dominique Dune, Robbie the son, and Carol Ann, which is Heather O'Rourke. The family is stalked and terrorized by a group of ancient ghosts that are attracted to the youngest daughter, Carol Ann. Let's see. Oh yeah, so once we go through this thing is the curses, the poltergeist curse. This is where we're going to get to earlier. And like you mentioned, some people died within I believe the 6-year span of these 3 movies. And what it is, it's actually 4 people that passed away. And I'm gonna go through these in certain orders. Let's see.
You know what, Carlos? Why don't you start with the 2 people that died that are most likely coincidence? That really doesn't seem like it was anything of a curse, and then
I'm gonna start. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about doing. And let's see. Here we go. Okay, so the first one that I want to talk about is 6-year-old Julian Beck, who portrayed Henry Kane in Poltergeist 2, The Other Side. Beck, who had been diagnosed with stomach cancer in 1983, succumbed to the disease on September 14th, 1985. The other cast member is 53-year-old Will Sampson, who portrayed Taylor in Poltergeist 2, The Other Side. Sampson died on June 3rd, 1987 of post-operative kidney failure and preoperative malnutrition problems after undergoing a heart and lung transplant. Now, the last 2 that I really want to talk about are the real tragic ones. And, I mean, they're all tragic because they passed away, but these 2 are pretty bad because they both involved young people, and very tragically, we lost them at a young age. Let's see here, the one that died was actually the one that portrayed the eldest daughter in the Poltergeist movie. And that was 22-year-old Dominique Dune. Dune had previously broken up with her abusive boyfriend, John Thomas Sweeney. Sweeney showed up at her West Hollywood house, and after she agreed to talk to him outside, Sweeney strangled her into a coma in the driveway. She was placed on life support and never regained consciousness. She died on November 4th, 1982 after being declared brain dead. And that was the oldest daughter. And then the saddest, well, they're all sad. Then the last one that I want to mention is the 12-year-old Heather O'Rourke, who died on February 1st, 1988, during surgery to repair an acute bowel obstruction. So we lost those 4 stars, and it's just sad that we had 2 very young ones that passed away.
Yeah, and I mean, this seems to be a thing that, I mean, I'm pretty sure most likely it's just coincidence, but it seems to be a thing that happens a lot. Like, these cursed films are like things that have to do with either, you know, the paranormal or demons or spirits. Like, you know, like Exorcist has its own stories too and stuff. So I mean, who knows? I mean, I guess it's possible, but yeah.
You're right.
But yeah, the you know what? And I have you've watched the second and third one before, right? Not now, but you watched them before.
Right. I vaguely remember anything about those movies. I was gonna watch, since I was had very little time. I was gonna watch a review on YouTube, but I just decided not to do that and continue with other things on the show.
Yeah, yeah, and I mean, I do remember that. I mean, of course, the second and third one weren't as good as the first one, and the second one was actually decent because it tried to get a little more involved with the character of the old man, you know, the bad guy. So it was pretty cool that they give him a little backstory and stuff. But yeah, but Carlos, you know what?
Was he the?
Go ahead.
Uh-huh. Was he the giant head that came out of the closet? Is that supposed to represent him in the first movie?
I don't think so. But
oh, okay.
Yeah, you know what, Carlos? One of the cases that's one of the biggest poltergeist incidents was that they made a film about it, and this was based of course based on a true story, was The Conjuring 2, the Enfield poltergeist. Have you watched Conjuring 2?
I've seen the first one. I really liked it, so I have to jump on those movies.
Yeah, the second one, basically that's what it is. It's a poltergeist situation where these two young girls, of course, I think they're in middle school, and they're sisters, and they start having stuff happen also. But this one went took it like a level higher, because the main character in the film, the actual person started having, like, the spirit that was causing all the activity in the house started communicating through her. So there's actual recordings online on YouTube that you could watch. They have the actual recordings of the interview they did with the little girl, and you'll hear when the guy starts asking, like, what can we talk to the spirit of the old man, and her voice all of a sudden would just change into like a old man's voice. It's pretty good. It's pretty cool. But
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that case was also like the one I was mentioning in the beginning. They actually called the police, and the police came, and the police actually got to see stuff move around the house. And
really?
Yeah. Are you being haunted by poltergeist, Carlos?
It's my screen.
I see you like.
No, because I don't know if you can hear it, but they have a loud, I guess it's banda music playing back here, but I'm running special software to eliminate that, so I'm hoping that.
Yeah, I can't.
I mean, you guys can't hear it, but it's kind of like still kind of bothering me. So it's one of those things.
Yeah. Yeah, but
luckily we have technology to read, so you guys don't have to listen to that.
Hey, that could have been our background music for this episode. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, but you know what? That case, the one I'm talking about, is the Enfield poltergeist. That was actually investigated partially by the Warrens. The ones that also did partial investigation of the Conjuring 1. And they had the Annabelle doll and all that whole thing.
Right.
Hey, dude, I wish we could be like the next Warrens. Like. You can't hear me?
This is baloney. This is baloney.
No. It was. This is a bunch of baloney.
This is a bunch of baloney.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, but yeah. So in that case, the same thing happened. They had a professional. Besides the Warrens, another investigator came in. What's his name? Something. Boris Gross or something like that. And this guy, he ended up coming in. It was crazy because he came to do the investigation, and when he talked to the little girl, he ended up thinking that the spirit that was causing the activity in the house was his daughter's, because he had a daughter that had passed away, and the little girl that was having the activity had the same name like his daughter. So then he tried to put two and two together, and he's like, it must be my daughter, she's making this happen so I could come and all this stuff. So he got really involved in the case. Like, he went full, he moved into the house and everything. So pretty crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Did you find any other any poltergeist cases online, or?
A couple of videos, and there's this one the video is a YouTube video. And they talk about another video that was I guess this video was made 6 years ago. And
it was a video. It was a video of a video.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like the Matrix.
Oh, dude! You must be psychic. You know why? Because before we started recording, I was thinking, you know what? I wanna talk about a little bit about the film Matrix. Not really get into it, but we'll do it later towards the end of the episode. I'll tell you what happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But anyways, what happened with this case?
Well, it's just a convincing case, and I just want to talk about it briefly because I think people should just check it out on YouTube if they haven't seen it. Where I don't know, this guy spent 100+ hours stringing up every cup, every drawer, and every plate in his kitchen. Or there's actually poltergeist activity because you just see things just flying left and right. And if you look at it, it's like, how are you gonna do that without pulling a string and not the other strings getting in the way? It's like, how's this happening? And it's a very convincing video. I'll send you the link so you can post it on the description. But it goes on for a couple of minutes, and it's just constant plate breaking, glass breaking, things flying, chairs moving. It was very believable. I mean,
It's very believable.
your mind can say, "Oh, this is fake. They can use this. They can use that." But
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, what else can you use besides string? Magnets?
Well, you know what, Carlos? One of the things that I read about online was that there was this one guy. He wrote a book on this, on Poltergeist, and he talks about how usually poltergeist, when there's poltergeist activity, it comes in spurs. It's not like the whole house will just get destroyed. It's kind of like, a glass will fall, a drawer will open. So now that you're saying this, that everything was like moving around and stuff, I don't know about that. But
Yeah, but it's about a good 2-minute video or so where things are moving around and it stops.
Oh, okay.
And
Yeah, and you know what?
Pretty convincing.
This guy that wrote this book, he was talking about how he went to one of the places he actually, because they would call him to let him know there was a poltergeist activity, and one of the places he went to was he described something that I have actually not witnessed it happen. I didn't witness when it happened, but I was there in the aftermath, and he talks about how he had gone to this house where the glassware would explode, right? Like a glass cup would just explode. And he said something that caught my attention. He said that when it would explode, it wouldn't break into pieces of glass. It would explode into almost like sand. And I don't know if you remember this, Carlos, but before we started this YouTube channel, I actually went to someone's house that was having some like activity, and I don't know if I mentioned this on the first episode we did. They and you know what? There's a teenage girl there too, and they were having some kind of problems and stuff, some issues. But anyways, they had a bottle of Snapple on top of a coffee table in the living room, and they're watching TV, and all of a sudden this bottle explodes, right? So they call me because they knew I was into EVPs and stuff, so they wanted me to see what I thought. Although I don't get any I'm not sensitive. I don't sense spirits and all that stuff. But they called me anyways, and I went, and so they told me that what happened, and so I'm like looking around and I'm like, I don't see any glass. I don't see anything. I was expecting nice big chunks, or like when a window in a car breaks and it turns into little squares. So I was expecting to see something like that, and I go, where's the glass? And she goes over to her couch, and she bumps the couch, and you see all this it looks almost like a glitter, like kind of puff up and then come down. And then I started looking on top of by the TV set, and you see all like this little shiny stuff. So that reminded me of what that guy said, that investigator, that these glasses would explode into sand. So I was like, oh crap. And you know what, now that happened, I gotta contact this family, because at first I was like, well, maybe it's maybe something, there was a chemical reaction with the liquid inside. I try to make an excuse for it, but now it makes sense that that does happen, where it will turn into almost like a powder. So
wow.
Yeah, so that's
very small, granulated size, maybe smaller than that, right?
Yeah. And you know what, Carlos, I don't, if you, I think I did mention, I talked about this in one of our first episodes. I described it almost as like glass that was almost like when you peel a carrot, like shredded. I think I described it as like shredded glass, because it was just so small and thin. You know, so did I tell you about that, Carlos?
Oh wow. You mentioned in the past. Yes.
Yeah. So that was one of the first. I think that's the only ever, like, now that we're doing these episodes, and I'm starting to learn a little bit about the things that people go through, the cases, the investigators. That I think this is one of the things now that I'm like, okay, now I've been part of I got to see something that a poltergeist did. But yeah,
Hard evidence.
hard evidence, yeah. Oh, and Carlos, you know what? How I mentioned that that I said you're psychic because you mentioned the film The Matrix. That's actually another topic that I would like to cover. You know, the whole thing of, is of like a alternate, like, reality kind of, I guess, right? Where, like, is this all real? Are we? Am I really sitting here with, filming an episode with Carlos? Is this really happening, or am I in some, like, a container, just as a, making food for aliens?
or am I real and is Tony making me up?
Yeah.
Talking here,
Yeah. Is this a dream? Am I dreaming? And Carlos is, Carlos isn't even, he never existed. Carlos is like a coworker that I don't talk to.
Oh.
Yeah. And you know what? I was, the idea came up.
Simulation, right?
Yeah. The idea came up because when I was watching these videos of Poltergeist, one of the videos that came up as recommended was for the film The Matrix. And something about the behind, the 10 secrets of the Matrix or something. But, so I started watching little clips of the film that I haven't watched in quite a while. And it just reminded me of how much I love The Matrix, man. You know what? I could honestly say that The Matrix probably my favorite film of all time.
It's a good movie.
Yeah, it's
yeah.
A great
the only
movie.
good thing they only made one. I'm happy about that.
Yeah, right. They're actually in talks of making another one.
Yeah, hopefully it's good. I mean, honestly, I'm glad Keanu Reeves is actually going back to all of his old films. He's already done what is it, Bill and Ted's Part 3, and he is going to go back and do The Matrix, and he's also in talks to do another what do you call it, Constantine.
Oh, that's right. That's right. And you know what? Bring back The Matrix, please. Yeah. But anyway.
So there's a couple of TED Talks out there that talk about if we are living in a simulation, and maybe we should read up on those, or watch those videos. And
hey, you know what? I think that's, and we'll call the episode The Matrix. I don't care. But
okay.
Oh, hey, we'll call it like what was the second part? Was it called Revisiting the Matrix? No, right? It was Matrix Revolutions, and Matrix Reloaded. So we'll call it Revisiting the Matrix, or something like that. Anyways, was there anything else you want to mention, Carlos, before we end episode 33?
Yes, I would like to thank somebody for giving me an awesome gift. I'd like to thank my co-host Tony. I actually got my copy of Haunted San Pedro by Brian Clune, and it's actually signed. What Tony has told us today is that there's still a few left. So please leave a comment on, on that previous video, right?
Yeah, go watch the video. Watch the video. Watch the video and find out during the video how to get your free copy of Haunted San Pedro. And it does come, like Carlos said, autographed by the author, Brian Clune.
Yes.
And if you guys don't believe that I actually got it, that he autographed them, I'll put a picture right here. Because I actually took a picture of Brian when I met up with him when he gave me the books, and he actually signed them in front of me. So I could see that it was him signing them, not his wife or something. Yeah, so I do want to do a shout out to Brian Clune. Thank you very much for. Yes. And he actually subscribed to our channel now. So he's he's subscribed to.
That's awesome.
San Pedro Paranormal.
That's great.
So
right?
Shout out to Brian Clune, and shout out to
thanks again, Tony.
To Doña Junta, and shout out to Wayne Poe as always, because I think Doña Junta found us because of Wayne Poe. So, and you're welcome, Carlos. You're welcome. You're very welcome for that.
Shout out for Alistair Cully.
That guy again. We're gonna have to do an episode on that dude. And watch The Matrix.
Yeah. Watch The Matrix. And no Joe Gardner this time.
Yeah. Okay. Don't forget to to like the video, share it, subscribe to our channel, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and I think that's it. I think we're done.
Awesome.
I think this episode's over. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you very much.